e-commerce thugs. Digital fraud. Inside latest cybercrime hotspot. Jamtara Files Part 2. Big focus on Newstrack.
You would have seen a hard-hitting ground report on digital fraud from its original hub at Jamtara in Jharkhand. We now take you inside the new hotspot for cyber crime in India. This is close to the national capital, with con artists able to game almost every digital platform to swindle you out of your money. Watch this investigation by Arvind Ojha and Nitin Jain from the Mewat region in Rajasthan.
Gorgeous rocks. Rain-soaked fields and meadows snuggled into the Aravalis. But the picturesque landscape is dotted with odd warnings. Warnings on barricades. On signs along the highways. And on the walls.
हेलो
सर, आपको एक कॉल आपके कार्ड से संबंधित किया जा रहा है। सर, बताना चाहूंगी कि आपके खाते को 50,000 की लॉटरी लगी है।
We earlier showed you how the notorious Jamtara model has expanded. That model no longer is a nondescript town of Jharkhand. We now take you inside its new hub, closer to the national capital. The exterior of the first police station we visit at Bharatpur in Rajasthan bears testimony to the scale of cyber fraud. Inside, a suspect named Yusuf has been taken into custody for sextortion. When questioned, he revealed his gang's modus: posing as young women online and striking up conversations, luring their targets into sending sexually explicit images, and then threatening to share them widely unless paid.
चैटिंग वाला कैसे लगती है? हाँ, फिर सेक्स चैटिंग वाला इसमें मुझे से करके अगर आप लोग सेक्स चैटिंग की जगह जैसे कर दिया
शुरू में से करें साहब, जैसे हाई लिफ्ट डाल दी किसी लड़की को, लड़का को, है ना, तो हाई लिफ्ट डाल दिए जैसे, फिर उसको वो भी हाई लिफ्ट डालता है सामने वाला, है ना, तो बोलता है हाँ, जो बोलता है तो भाई वीडियो कॉल करना चाहते हैं, लड़की बोलती है, लड़की क्या बोलता है, तो वो बोलता है लड़का ही है, हाँ, तो लड़का कोई भी हो वो बोल देता है हाँ करना चाहता हूँ, जैसे उसका वीडियो कॉल कर देते हैं तो उसको दिखाते हैं, फिर वो भी दिखा देता है अपना सब कुछ, हाँ, जो लड़की भी दिखा देती है, दूसरा फोन में,
हाँ, नहीं लड़की के कौन सी दिखाती है,
दूसरा फोन में दिखाते हैं,
दूसरे फोन में,
हाँ,
अच्छा, दूसरा फोन जैसे लगा के,
हाँ हाँ,
कैसे लगाते हैं?
नीचे का कैमरा से,
नीचे कैमरा,
हाँ, जैसे एक फोन है ये, तो इस फोन में जो दूसरा फोन है इसमें वीडियो चला देते हैं, ठीक है, और आपका फोन है जैसे इससे वीडियो कॉल कर रहे हैं, तो बैक कैमरा करते हैं जैसे, तो बैक कैमरा को आपका फोन जैसे चल रहा है ना वीडियो, उसमें वो वीडियो दिख जाती है.
Scammers with fake identities superimpose a woman's video screen neatly onto the frame of the phone camera. Investigators found the male targets are already told there would be no voice but only text conversations. Their messaging seduces the victim into going nude. The phone on the other side records everything with the screen recording software. The victim will be blackmailed, and if he gives in, the money is usually credited into the account of a third party. The suspect confessed to India Today that sextortion in this area of Bharatpur is a common form of blackmailing. The craft known to many in his village.
कैसे सीखा था मुझसे?
गाँव में जैसे करते हैं ना लोग, इस वजह से पता चल जाता है कैसे कैसे।
गाँव में कैसे है, कितने लोग करते?
गाँव में तो कर लेते हैं, 10-20 तो करते होंगे कम से कम।
जो 50,000 रुपए कैसे आए तुम्हारे?
वो खाते में आए थे।
किसके खाते में?
वो ऐसे आए थे जैसे डलवाते हैं ना 10% 20% ऐसे डलवाए थे, 10-20 हज़ार रुपये डलाए थे।
Sextortion is just one part. Scammers at Bharatpur deploy multiple tools on multiple platforms to breach the digital defenses of their targets. Stay tuned for more. A report by Special Investigation Teams Arvind Ojha and Nitin Jain from the Mewat region for India Today.
It's not just sextortion. Mewat, just a few kilometers from the national capital, has also become a hotspot of digital marketplace scams. High-end items are listed at low prices on platforms like OLX. The scammers then cultivate trust and ask for a small upfront payment. Remember, if any deal is too good to be true, it's probably a scam.
Deep into the hinterlands of Bharatpur, on the trail of an alleged cyber fraud out on bail, we tracked him down, Rahul Khan, in his hideaway in the middle of fields. He explained his tactics. Advertising high-ticket items for sale at low prices on platforms like OLX, faking identity like that of some defense personnel, and concocting a believable yet fabricated story, such as about distress sale.
OLX वगैरह पे ऐड डाल देते हैं। मान लीजिए जैसे आपके पास एक बाइक है, यहाँ बाइक का भी नहीं होता है, मोबाइल वगैरह का होता है। जैसे आपका ये मोबाइल है सैमसंग का, ये नहीं आता है 70,000 रुपये का, ठीक है। तो अभी क्या इसको हम बेचेंगे तो OLX पे सस्ता बेचेंगे तो आप भी ले लोगे, तो इसको रख देंगे वहाँ 20-25 हज़ार रुपये में। 1-1.5 महीना चला हुआ है और इसको अर्जेंट सेल कर रहा हूँ मैं। और मैं एक इंडियन आर्मी से बिलोंग करता हूँ और मेरा ड्यूटी यहीं कहीं है, कहीं बता देते हैं एयरपोर्ट वगैरह पे, और मुझे अर्जेंटली पैसों की रिक्वायर्ड है इसलिए मैं बेच रहा हूँ। नहीं तो फिर आप बोलोगे यार तो मैं तो वहाँ आ नहीं सकता। पहले आपसे बोल देंगे आप कहाँ से हो, आपने बताया मैं दिल्ली से हूँ, तो मैं दिल्ली से तो बन नहीं सकता क्योंकि दिल्ली से बनूंगा तो फेस टू फेस मिलेगा, तो उसके लिए बन जाऊँगा लखनऊ से, देहरादून से, काफ़ी दूर बनूंगा, कम से कम 300-400 किलोमीटर 500 किलोमीटर दूर। फिर उसको मैं बोल देता हूँ आपको इसका कोरियर करवा सकता हूँ मैं, ठीक है। कोरियर का उससे पैसा ले लेते हैं, उसके लिए फ़ोन देते नहीं है, खाली एक विश्वास की एक ट्रस्ट की बात होती है। अब आप मुझ पे भरोसा करोगे, मैं आर्मी से हूँ, आपसे मीठी मीठी बात करूँगा आपको पॉकेट मनी लेने के लिए। मैं आपको अपना स्कैनर दूंगा, आप इसमें 1 रुपये डाल दो।
अच्छा,
ऐसा करो आप 1 रुपये से चेक कर लो। मैं अपना आपको 1 रुपये का QR कोड दे दूंगा, आप मुझे डालोगे 1 रुपये अपने अकाउंट से, मैं अपने अकाउंट से आपको जैसे मेरे अकाउंट में 1 रुपये आ जाएगा आपको 2 रुपये डाल दूंगा,
आप वापस कर दोगे
2 रुपये।
हाँ,
आपने ये किया मुझे, मैंने आपको कितना किया?
2 रुपये।
तो आपके अकाउंट में 1 रुपये बढ़ेगा नहीं बढ़ेगा?
बढ़ेगा।
So that's how scammers build trust with their potential victims. They lend a degree of credibility by asking you to send a small amount through UPI and credit the double back immediately. Of course, they have no goods to sell. They simply aim to swindle you out of your money with a full or partial payment up front.
एक दिन में कोई कितना कमा लेता होगा?
1000, 2000, 10,000, 10 लिमिट है।
और सब घर पे बैठ के चल रहा है?
घर पे चलता है।
Police investigations have revealed cyber criminals in Bharatpur use sophisticated techniques to change IP addresses so as to avoid being tracked. The recent findings from data analysis of cell towers in local villages are stunning.
यहाँ बाहर के काफ़ी मामलों में पुलिस आती है और यहाँ के लोग ये इस प्रकार से धोखाधड़ी कर रहे हैं ऑनलाइन। तो हमने उन एरिया को चिन्हित करके करीब 8 थाना क्षेत्र के 130 गांवों के मोबाइल टावर्स का 5 दिन का डाटा का लेकर के उनका विश्लेषण किया गया। तो ये पाया कि करीब मार्च 2022 की बात है, तो 21,000 सिम जो प्री एक्टिवेटेड सिम थी, जो आसाम, वेस्ट बंगाल और उड़ीसा स्टेट की थी, और हमारे यहाँ के लोग उनको चला रहे हैं, जो यूनिक IMEI में चलाते हैं। और उनकी कॉल डिटेल का चेक करें तो उसमें केवल पीड़ित का ही नंबर मिलता है और किसी का ही नहीं मिलता, मतलब जो पीड़ित है तो उनकी आइडेंटिफिकेशन भी नहीं हो पाता है। सिम है जो वहाँ के नंबर की है, वहाँ के लोगों की है, और यूज़ ये ले रहे हैं। तो हमने उनको हमारे जो नोडल एजेंसी है ATS SOG के माध्यम से DOT को भेजा, भारत दूरसंचार विभाग को, उनको ब्लॉक करने के लिए सिम, और 23,000 IMEI जो फ़ोन है उनको ब्लॉक करने के लिए। तो उनका काफ़ी इम्पेक्ट आया।
Cyber criminals might have slipped into hibernation for some time, but haven't packed their bags in Bharatpur.
करीब बीच में 4-1 महीने तक साइबर क्राइम बिल्कुल थम सा गया था। वापस पिछले महीने 1.5 महीने से हमारे पास इस प्रकार की बाहर की पुलिस की इस प्रकार सूचनाएं आने लग गई, भाई पुलिस आ रही है और कुछ हो रहा है। तो हमने वापस सर्वे करवाया, अब जल्दी फिनिश हो जाएगा, वापस हम DOT को भेजेंगे।
Trading platforms like OLX regularly alert users about scams and their various modus operandi. All precautions notwithstanding, the old adage still holds true in digital market. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. A report by Special Investigation Teams Arvind Ojha and Nitin Jain for India Today.
What was earlier happening largely out of Jamtara in Jharkhand now seems to have spread to the Mewat region as well, this Haryana, Rajasthan area very close to the national capital, becoming a key hub of a lot of this cyber crime. Joining us on this broadcast, I want to welcome Brajesh Upadhyay, Deputy Superintendent of Police, Bharatpur. It's on his watch that some of these criminals are operating. Yashovardhan Azad joins us, former Special Director, Intelligence Bureau. He's been Secretary of Security at the Government of India, one of India's top policing minds. With us is Nitin Jain, a leading cyber security expert. We've got two people who've been victims of different kinds of cyber fraud, Arindam Soni and we got Parth Chaudhary. They'll take us through what happened with them. But first I want to go across to Brajesh Upadhyay, because we've just seen in these investigative reports put out by the India Today Special Investigation Team, there are a lot of these cyber criminals seem to be operating out of the area where you're in charge, and I'm wondering, why aren't you able to put a stop to their illegal activities? Why are they duping people all across the country right under your nose?
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Actually, the area you are just describing is mostly called Mewat area, the north side of the Bharatpur, and it involves some parts of Nuh district of Haryana, some parts of Mathura district, and some parts of Alwar district. So basically 3 states are interacting here. So you are asking why we are not able to control it. Actually, there are 2 main reasons why we are not able to control totally. Because first, the victims of this fraud are not from Bharatpur. They do fraud all India level. So we don't get to know regular FIRs from other states. So we get to know only when outside police comes for raid, for catching the accused. Then we go and then we raid and then we catch. We don't get to know the victims from here. First thing is that. Second is that the scope of their activity has been totally copied from Jamtara and has become so much that we don't know who is there sitting in Ghadi and doing this cyber fraud through phone. So we can't catch everyone, but we can't go and randomly catch anyone and check his phone. We only can take action when we get the details of the fraud. So we are trying our best. Actually, this problem is also related to some social economic condition also. They don't find enjoyment in working hard. They don't want to go for labor, for other good technical field. They have learned that due to some 2 minutes of effort, they can get 10,000-15,000 rupees. And the third factor is that the human psychology. Humans are so, I'll say, they are greedy. Only people who get cyber frauded are mostly who want to enjoy a large amount of profit. They want to buy iPhone 13 in 10,000, 20,000. So this kind of behavior, human behavior, is also sink in this. So we have to catch all these points if we want to stop it. Only police raid can't solve all problems. We have to make citizens aware of this, that if anything you are getting on internet, 90% discount means it's impossible. Then you are getting fraud. You are being frauded.
Now you make a couple of important points and I want to put those to Yashovardhan Azad. One, that if somebody is being greedy, there's nothing the police can do. If it's too good to be true, it probably is problematic. But most people don't get that very basic premise. Secondly, that while the criminals may operate out of the Mewat region, the crime isn't happening in Mewat, and therefore the likes of Brajesh Upadhyay, who's on the ground in Bharatpur, says there is not much I can do because the criminals are on my watch, but the crime is elsewhere. So it's a problem of superintendents. How should the police on the ground be trying to address these problems so they can act against these criminals, Mr. Azad?
You see, Rahul, this is a new age policing dilemma. And these are the challenges which are coming before the police in the modern age. Jamtara has been a veritable center of all kinds of frauds. There is no doubt about it. And as you mentioned, there is a huge jurisdiction problem. The victims are from Kerala, the victims are from MP, and therefore the Jamtara police only got to know when the police was going to that place to raid places and catch the accused. But the bigger problem lies before that. Now the Jamtara is being replaced by the Mewat area. And as rightfully said, it is on the tri-junction of 3 states. And therefore, these criminals can go and do a crime, say in UP, and then come back to Mewat. So somebody far off from UP has to report to the local police station over there, who may or may not be savvy enough how to take care of such affairs. So these are 2 problems there. One is the jurisdiction problem, and the other is the ability or the capacity of the police in that particular area to be able to tackle this crime. In Haryana, for example, we had done a study with the local police, and Chandar Mohan, one of the brightest IPS officers there. We had done a study, and now they have a cybercrime police station for every district and 4 cyber police stations for the commissionerates. Now, which is making it very, very good for liaison. What the third point, what I'm going to say is that unless in this modern age crime, you have a kind of a coordination between the various states. For example, if you have one state liaison officer who can immediately cut across and go to the state where the crime has actually taken place, and he contacts the other state, then a solution can be found. And SOPs need to be resolved immediately. There are so many issues which I'd like to talk about. But in the beginning, I would just say jurisdictional problems are there. Then the capacity of the local police is also there, because not only this lure of money, there are a lot of other crimes too. You know, somebody will threaten you that electricity bill is being cut off. Somebody will threaten you that your life insurance policy is going off unless you renew it again. There are so many of these things. So you need somebody For example, one good move which has been made by the MHA and the Cyber Crime Security Cell is that they've given you a number that immediately if something takes place, the most important thing is how you block the chain of transfer of money into that accused bank. So with that money, they immediately go through the various processes and try to block it in between. So this is what is my initial.
And it's also a question of capacity of the police force to be able to tackle this crime. Now, what the local superintendent of police mentions is important, but there has to be, in my view, some kind of a national cyber security framework where no matter where the criminal is sitting, no matter where the crime has occurred, there has to be a national all-out approach to try and deal with this cyber crime, because this business of jurisdiction is important in a local policing context, but cyber crime simply doesn't operate in that framework.
That's true, Rahul, and then that is why, dealing with this problem post-action might be very, very difficult. We are already clocked by 90% of these cybercrime cases which are OTP frauds, and now there is a new pattern which is turning up, which is basically, this sextortion scams, where you suddenly get a random video call on your number from some, a girl, and the moment you pick up the call, they take they are not very close, and they take a screenshot of you, and then they try to send those obscene photos to your family and friends and try to snatch money out of you by blackmailing you. So, see, at the heart of all these scams, be it OTP scams, extortions, or other nefarious scams, is the problem of KYC. These people are able to obtain fraudulent SIMs. They are able to continue using those SIMs despite of getting reported. I mean, you put a number on this spam reports or government portal, the SIMs continue for 3, 4 days, 5 days. So I think the heart of the problem is the broken KYC in India. And unless and until, see, you can have a choice. Either you take a vaccine to, escape from corona, or you can go for a doctor's treatment after you have got COVID. So I think the vaccination is much cheaper and more effective. Likewise, here, a fixing KYC system will be much more effective than trying to deal with this problem of jurisdictions and then forming cells, police stations. How many cases you will deal with? And I'm told in UP itself, 3 lakh cases are pending. Do you have the system, manpower, wherewithal to deal with those cases? And sorry to say, Rahul, I think our system mostly deal with those influential cases where some politician is calling up or a big cop is calling up to put pressure. What about the poor guys who are on the last leg of society, the poor farmers, people who have lost 4,000 rupees, 5,000 rupees? For some people, it is a year saving. For some people, it is just simple pocket money. So I think our system is busy dealing with those fraud of 15 lakh, 20 lakh rupees. But I am more worried about this voluminous number of frauds which are just 5,000, 7,000 rupees gone from poor people. I think to deal with that, we need to fix KYC very, very urgently. And one good thing government and MHA has done is to find a way to freeze this money of 48 hours, as my the panelists were saying, that you call a 1930. Tell the number where the fraud, money after the fraud is gone, and they're able to put a freeze of 48 hours, giving you a golden window to go and file a complaint with the police and the bank and all those things. So I think another step has to be taken to fix the KYC system. If you don't fix that, if people can still continue to obtain fraudulent SIM cards, these scams will go on no matter what you do.
Parth Chaudhary, tell us what happened with you. Was the police able to help? How did you get conned? Describe what happened.
सर एक्चुअली ये बात जो है 1 साल पुरानी है. आई वाज इन दिल्ली.
ओके.
हुआ क्या था एक्चुअली मेरे साथ से, आई गेस द अमाउंट इज लमसम अराउंड 1,60,000 और अराउंड 2 लाख रुपीस. मेरे अकाउंट के साथ जो हुआ था, बेसिकली हुआ क्या था, ओटीपी मैनिपुलेशन हुआ था. मेरे अकाउंट में किसी ने ओटीपी मैनिपुलेट करके कार्डिंग करके वो सारा अमाउंट निकाल के कहीं और ट्रांसफर कर दिया था. और जो मेरे पास मेल आया, मतलब एसबीआई की तरफ से जो मेरा अकाउंट था, उसमें यह दिखाया कि आपका जो मनी है वो कहीं गूगल सिंगापुर में गया. उसके बाद मेरे पास कॉल भी आया अथॉरिटी की साइड से, एसबीआई की. तो आई वाज सो पैनिक्ड. तो मेरे को लगा हो सकता है मे बी ये फ्रॉड कॉल हो. तो मैंने वो कॉल को रिजेक्ट करके फिर अपनी साइड से 1903 पर कॉल किया, जिनके हेल्पलाइन नंबर है. वहाँ किसी ने कॉल पिक भी नहीं किया एक्चुअली, मतलब अगर मैं बात करूँ तो. फिर मैंने कॉल किया इस पे, मतलब एसबीआई के ऑनलाइन कंप्लेंट सेंटर पे. उन्होंने मेरे को बहुत सी चीज़ें बताई कि ठीक है, हम यहाँ से अपनी साइड से कंप्लेंट रजिस्टर कर रहे हैं, आप ऑनलाइन साइबर पोर्टल पे भी कंप्लेंट डाल दीजिए. मैंने वहाँ भी कंप्लेंट डाली साइबर पोर्टल पे. फिर वो सर वही चीज़ होती रही, बैंक के चक्कर कटते रहे. मैं बैंक जाता रहा, बैंक में जाके एप्लीकेशन लिख कर दी. ऑनलाइन तो रजिस्टर हो ही चुकी थी कंप्लेंट, और उसके बाद साइबर पोर्टल पे भी डाल दिया था मैंने लिख के. फिर वहाँ से साइबर पोर्टल से मेरे पास कंफर्मेशन मैसेज आया कि आपकी कंप्लेंट जो हमने सक्सेसफुल रजिस्टर्ड कर दी है. बट सर वही था कि इतना इमीडिएट एक्शन कुछ नहीं लिया गया था, काफी लंबा टाइम लग गया था मेरे को। उसके बाद फिर मेरे साइबर एक्सपर्ट्स फ्रेंड थे जो अभी जो साइबर सिक्योरिटी में काम कर रहे हैं, एक मुकेश जी थे और एक मेरा फ्रेंड था, उससे फिर मैंने हेल्प और गाइडेंस ली थी, तो मतलब उन लोगों ने काफी हेल्प आउट किया था मेरे को उस सिनेरियो में।
Rajesh Upadhyay, are there specific suggestions that you have as the man on the ground that you think should be thought of or acted on by the powers that be that will make it easier for you to be able to tackle these cyber criminals?
Rahul, as other panelists said, I think the most important need of the hour is to have a coordination between 3-4 different agencies. I have noted down police, bank, ISP and payment fintech companies. Actually, when cyber fraud happens, the victim gets to know in 1 minute he has been frauded. The money is still either on the payment fintech companies site, either it is PhonePe, Google Pay or Paytm, and bank still holds the money. If bank and PhonePe gets this report that some fraud has happened, they can block the money, and then the victim can revert this money in his account. A victim's more interested in getting money back. He is not interested in getting the criminal arrested. Getting the criminal arrested is our job. But victim who has been frauded by 1 lakh, 2 lakh of his hard-earned money, he wants his money back. So I was thinking today, currently, what we do, we have unofficial informal groups, Telegram groups, where there are Paytm companies and PhonePe companies. We as a police officers, we give them the report and they block the money. But I think there should be a more institutionalized system. All the banks, the ISP, the mobile network provider also should be included. The payment service company like PhonePe, Paytm, Google Pay, and the police. All four should have one nodal officer for each highly affected districts, and they should have good cooperation. Any fraud happens, the four coordinate and block the money and let the money be with bank or the PhonePe only. And then when police investigation completes, this money should go to the victim only, not to the accused. So, and second thing, as Special Director Sir said, a cyber police station. We have a cyber police station in Bharatpur, but the load of these cases is too much that I would, from your channel, I would like to put this request forward. Where there is more cases of cyber fraud, there should be more and more personnel, technical personnel in police.
That's an important point, Yashovardhan Azad. The fact that most policemen, with no disrespect to them, aren't trained for cyber fraud, which will require a level of technical sophistication and finesse, whereas they've been trained for murder or for theft, to try and tackle those kind of crimes. And here's a criminal who speaks a language the cop doesn't necessarily understand.
Absolutely right. In fact, I'd already mentioned that training is a very important part. There are a couple of other suggestions too. In fact, today, the ordinary sub-inspectors who are being recruited in the Delhi police or other police, they're highly educated and they should be given a training. You know, section under 66 of the IT Act, only inspectors are allowed to investigate. This is wrong. I mean, and that is why the caseload will become heavier and heavier. And therefore, it's below the rank of inspector also to sub-inspector, the ASIs, they should be allowed also to investigate. The other suggestion is that, you know, this is compoundable. I mean, so that means that the money is returned, everything is all right. But this is a heinous crime which is spreading. It's time that it should be made non-compoundable. Then the other issue is that, like the MHA's portal, which is there when a number is given, and then the money chain is blocked. This is how it should be in every state. As I mentioned, that the nodal officer should have the authority that immediately when a crime takes place, he reports that, and the money is blocked in that particular chain till the further investigation is done and it comes back and the accused are caught. So there are a number of things which can be done. But the biggest thing, Rahul, which is required is the awareness amongst the people. Because even in my own family, older people have been conned by giving OTPs. Now, this is something which is happening, still happening on various, and that kind of awareness can be built up through, I don't know, social media, TV channels and other places, newspapers, civil society. Because this is a kind of an epidemic which is almost spreading everywhere.
Arindam Soni, you tell us what happened with you. You're a faculty
evening.
for a UPSC IS exam center. So obviously very well qualified yourself academically, and yet somehow you fell victim to this fraud. What happened?
Good evening, Rahul. My experience was, little harsh. Just as your story explained about the phishing incident, I was also victimized by the phishing incident, and the amount was almost 1 lakh rupees. It was phishing that I was victimized with. To quote some data that I was teaching the class in a few days back also, 3 out of 20 attacks, cyber attacks, International Internet Crime Report 2019 says that it takes place in India. And during my incident, when I was victimized, though I was shocked but not surprised enough, because this phenomena is, very well prevalent and penetrated in the India. I believe unemployment, the first cause, and the structural and the functional lapses in the system is the most important cause behind this. The culture of materialism, as the co-panelist and the co-speaker has also asserted, the culture of materialism has so much penetrated in the masses that they don't want to do the hard labor and go for the hard-earned money. Rather, they want to take the shortcuts out of it. When I was victimized, then I gone to the police station and I called the cyber cell. So I found the approach of the Rajasthan police was very unsympathetic. Though I was really aware about the, how the things should have been gone and what next I should do. So I immediately contacted the cyber police, got the reference numbers and registered an FIR. And then I immediately contacted my bank to freeze that account. Then the bank was, again, they were also unsympathetic because they say that is your mistake and we are not liable to it. Then again, I contacted RBI Ombudsman and gracefully they assisted me. As the co-speaker said, the awareness issues is the main cause of the main issue. If the people and our, masses and the citizens are aware about it, I believe they are not fast enough. The criminals, I am saying about them, they're not fast enough. We are actually structurally and functionally slow. The CERT and the cyber warfare police or the cyber Swachhata Kendra, there has to be some, big data and critical infrastructure in between that has to be taken in account for getting our safety in hands.
Okay, Jitin Jain, final words before I wrap up. The critical question on what people can do, because we saw this in Jamtara, we're seeing it in Mewat. It seems to be the number of cases are going up. What are your ready reckoners for what those who are watching you at this moment should be mindful of to ensure they don't fall prey to any of these sextortion or OTP rackets?
Rahul, number one, on a citizen side, I think do not give your OTPs to anyone. And in case you have fallen scam to a sextortion scam or somebody is trying to blackmail you, I think approach police and inform your family. Under no circumstances pay any money, because if you pay once, it will not end. It will continue and you will keep up paying unless and many people have been driven to commit suicide. So, be courageous and inform your family, inform your friends, seek professional help, approach police. They will help you out. I mean, approach, especially 1930 is the best way to approach and seek guidance today. Second, I think apart from KYC thing, one of the things banks can do that, there is so much money transactions happening. I think our bank have enough appetite and money to do some technological investment. So I think almost all ATMs are empowered with a camera today. So if any account, especially the Jan Dhan accounts which are rented for the scams, if any money above 40,000, 50,000 have come up in that account, if anybody is trying to withdraw that money within 48 hours, which is the window given for freezing by our cybercrime portal, then I think online KYC can happen. I mean, one person has to stand with your face and your ID in the front of camera. Only then ATM will dispense money from that account. And I think this is very easy. I mean, you just have to use artificial intelligence for facial recognition. And the connectivity is already there. I mean, government has connected every panchayat, every district with optic fiber connectivity today. So I think a small amount of technological investment will help us long way in solving this problem of fraudulent transaction withdrawals. And money has to stay within the system. As long as money is within the banks, you can get it back.
Okay.
Once the cash is withdrawn, then the problem happens. So if we can stop the cash without authentication, the problem will be solved.
This is a problem that's so commonplace. and the number of techniques being used are expanding, which is why we'll continue our coverage of the Jamtara files, exposing cybercrime in all its manifestations. I want to thank our guests for joining us. Another strong story by our reporters showing how more and more people are getting conned by these cyber criminals. Coming up on the other side of a quick break, Delhi government has announced 6 months jail for anyone violating the cracker ban. But an AAP Neta caught on camera bursting crackers. BJP slams Kejriwal's hypocrisy. Details on the other side.
Taiwan excellence empowers innovation in everyone's life. We keep moving forward to a wonderful tomorrow, dreaming amazing dreams and living fuller lives. Everywhere, every moment, every day. Taiwan excellence, everyday excellence.
जितने भी पूरे भारत में सिक्योरिटी गार्ड लगे हुए हैं, सबको मान सम्मान मिलना चाहिए।
हम अकेले ड्यूटी करते, हम गरीब आदमी हैं सर।
आत्मसम्मान तो मेरा चला ही गया, मुझे सिर्फ रिस्पेक्ट चाहिए।
हम आपकी कहानी पूरी दुनिया को सुनाएंगे और आपके स्वाभिमान के लिए आवाज उठाएंगे। रात 9 बजे आज तक पर।
Kerala public health. All political parties traveling from different parts.
Armed with facts,
Looking at political back.
she takes the news by its horns.
Do you think the future of these students are not hampered?
Fierce, bold and direct, setting the tone for the biggest stories from every corner and every angle. Expect nothing but the unfiltered truth.
News first, niceties later. Watch me, Nabila Jamal, on India Today.
It's a resurgence powered by new launches, by fresh optimism amongst the consumers, by a pent-up demand generated by 2 years of lockdowns. New cars are flying off the shelves as consumers return to the market with a vengeance. The Navratri this year has already been the best ever for the auto industry, and analysts are expecting the same from the full festive season. What's more, this year from January to September has seen the auto industry set new records. Sales in the first 9 months of this calendar year have surpassed the previous record set in the pre-COVID era of 2018. After the dip in 2020, a slew of factors have ensured a new high for passenger vehicles this year. And with 3 more months to go, 2022 is on track to be the best year. I don't read the news. I read between the lines to tell you the true version of events. The true story of our times.
To document grief, the toughest assignment for any journalist to be.
From those who matter.
Women politicians going to stick up for each other.
Of those who should matter. I document the truth. I don't distort the truth. I don't glamorize the truth. I don't gloss over the truth.
The ghosts of India's contentious medieval history have come knocking again.
I hustle for the truth. On the ground, in the newsroom, in the studio. I don't try to grab eyeballs.
I inform you to make you see the point.
To the point with Preeti Chaudhary. At these times, only on India Today.
Co-powered by RK Marble, Khoobsurat Imandari. In association with JioMart, Har Ghar Ka Mart.
So sorry.
अरे सीएम साहब क्या कर रहे हैं आप? क्या कह रहे हैं आप? इस तरह से जनता को परेशान मत करें आप।
पता नहीं क्या कर रहे हो आप? हाँ, समझ नहीं आता आपको।
मुख्यमंत्री जी आपको सुधरना होगा। आप और आपकी पार्टी अपनी जिम्मेदारियों से दूर भाग रहे हैं। दूर
भाग क्यों रहे हो जिम्मेदारियों से? मकड़ी के जाले कौन साफ करेगा?
उस दिन महामहिम भी कार्यक्रम में आई थी, आप राजघाट क्यों नहीं गए थे? क्यों
नहीं गए थे दही लेने बाजार? उस दिन रायता नहीं बन पाया बिरयानी के लिए।
मिस्टर चीफ मिनिस्टर, आपकी पार्टी पर आरोप है कि उन्होंने किया है भ्रष्टाचार।
अचार रख दो धूप में, अचार क्यों बैठे हो यहाँ?
अरविंद जी, आपने तोड़ा है प्रोटोकॉल।
कॉल आई थी पड़ोसी की, बच्चों ने कांच तोड़ दिया है।
इसमें सारे आरोप हैं, जल्द ही एक्शन होगा।
Now, there's a question I've always wanted to ask you. The love story of Hema Malini and Dharmendra. Who fell in love with whom?
The very first time when I saw him, because I have never seen such a handsome man. He was something exceptional, something very different, and very soft-hearted person. The way he spoke, that really impressed me. But he used to.
He was a very attractive
and
man.
He also got very attracted, definitely, to me.
Presented by Only OLX Autos gives the best price for your car. Co-presented by Macho Hint, Fashion Bade Aaram Se. Powered by Ashirwad Shubh Chakki Aata. Raho 4 kadam aage.
This Diwali, fire up your Muhurat trading.
This Diwali, celebrate the victory of good investment. Welcome Devi Mahalakshmi into your homes this Diwali.
Sweeten your portfolio this Diwali with Business Today TV.
Kerala's public health. All political parties traveling from different parts.
Armed with facts,
Looking at political black.
she takes the news by its horns.
Do you think the future of these students are not hampered?
Fierce, bold and direct. Setting the tone for the biggest stories. From every corner and every angle. Expect nothing but the unfiltered truth.
News first, niceties later. Watch me, Nabila Jamal, on India Today.
The Delhi government's cracker ban hypocrisy has been exposed. There's a 6-month jail term for those who violate the cracker ban in the capital. But the Aam Aadmi Party itself was caught bursting crackers to welcome the Delhi government's new Mantri. The capital's air is getting worse and fast, and stubble burning seems to be going up in Punjab. Can Arvind Kejriwal pass the buck anymore?
Another year, the same fight to breathe in Delhi. Air pollution, smog and haze back to haunt the national capital just in time for the festive season, with air quality plummeting. The ruling Aam Aadmi Party, which imposed penalty and jail term for the common man for bursting cracker, finds itself being accused of hypocrisy, with the BJP tweeting images of Aam Aadmi Party worker bursting crackers for new minister in Arvind Kejriwal government, R.K. Anand. The BJP called it anti-Hindu stand of Aam Aadmi Party government.
आज अरविंद केजरीवाल ये बताएं कि क्यों उन्होंने दशहरे पे पटाखों पर पाबंदी लगाई थी, क्यों उन्होंने दुर्गा पूजा विसर्जन पे पाबंदी लगाई थी यमुना जी में, क्यों उन्होंने छठ पूजा में यमुना जी में पाबंदी लगाई थी। सिर्फ हिंदुओं त्योहारों से अरविंद केजरीवाल को नफरत क्यों है?
The AQI, the air quality index in Delhi is continuously falling. It is going from bad to worse. But instead of taking action on the real causes of pollution, the ban is put on crackers being burst by Hindus during Diwali, which has not been shown as a major cause of pollution by most scientific and other reports.
The Kejriwal government says jailing those bursting crackers on Diwali will help improve Delhi's air quality.
कहीं भी पटाखा जलता है तो वो गैर कानूनी है,
उसको जो है जलाने पर जो आईपीसी की धारा है 268 उसके तहत ये कार्रवाई करेंगे, जिसमें 200 रुपए का जुर्माना है और 6 महीने तक का जेल का प्रावधान है।
The BJP claimed that cracker ban by Aam Aadmi Party government is aimed at its own vested interests.
ग्रीन क्रैकर्स अलाउ होने चाहिए थे, लेकिन दिल्ली सरकार ने अपनी कमियों की वजह से ये काम आज दिल्ली की जनता को उनको उठाना पड़ रहा है। हमारे त्योहार पर अगर कोई क्रैकर्स छुड़ाए जाते हैं, ग्रीन पटाखे जो अलाउ हैं उनको अलाउ करना चाहिए दिल्ली सरकार को।
The Supreme Court meanwhile refused reprieve in cracker ban, advising Diwali revelers to use money for crackers to buy sweets instead. Bureau Report, India Today.
This is where I wrap up the Newstrack tonight. For your time and your trust, thank you very much. I look forward to seeing you 8 p.m. tomorrow evening. Till then, from all of us here, goodbye, good night.